Hey, I'm Robert Lewis, and welcome to today's video. Welcome to Learn Software Coding YouTube channel. As you know, this is a channel that I created to inspire developers, to help those who are looking forward to get into software development, junior developers, and just people who are software enthusiasts. Today we're going to be talking about embracing legacy software. Sometimes within your career, depending on the shop that you're working at, you may be asked to look at a code base that is considered legacy. And when I think about legacy, I'm talking about code that is usually no longer supported, really old, or maybe really hard to update, challenging to update. But one thing I can say, and I'm going to tell you this. Now, this is a mindset that I did not always have. I did not always have this mindset, but I'm learning to embrace legacy code. Now, I do think that you should always, want to make sure that you're current and that you are knowledgeable of, what the current trends are within the industry. But sometimes you're going to be in a situation where you have to work on a code base that is legacy. Sometimes you're going to have your employer, they have a code base that is legacy code, but it is still providing great value and profit for the organization that you're working for. And so as a result, that code still has to be maintained. And while it may not be the most attractive or the type of software development that you want to work on, it is still something that still needs to be maintained. And so these are a few things I want to just talk to you about when dealing with legacy code. First and foremost, you have to have the right mindset. As with anything, you have to have the right mindset. Your mindset has to be that, okay, this is still valuable code that's helping me to receive my paycheck. That legacy code, it may be old, it may be outdated, there may not be a lot of documentation for it, there may not be some support for it that you can call, if you have issues or anything like that. You may not even be able to find a lot of help online, but this is code that still is bringing revenue for the company, and ultimately it is helping to pay your salary or pay for the contract that you're working on. And so you need to keep that in mind, and I believe having that mindset will help you to, even though it's legacy code, to still embrace it and just do the job that you need to do. To resolve the issue, make the needed update and changes to the code base that are needed. The next thing I would say is that even though you may not be able to find a lot of support or documentation for it, one thing I can say is that even though it may be legacy code, generally all programming languages, they use the same type of logic. Of course, the syntax is different, the way you write the code, things of that nature, but the logic is going to be pretty much the same, whether you're writing C++, C#, Python, PHP, the same basic coding logic is going to be the same no matter what language you are working with. So you can generally get into the code base, just begin to read it, and if you are familiar with computer science and familiar with writing code, reading code, you should be able to. It may take you a little while to be able to get a good grasp of understanding what's going on, but you should be able to generally be able to figure out what's going on in the code, and so I would say that, keeping these things in mind will be very, very helpful when you're dealing with legacy code. Also, too, If you are just coming into a new position, embracing a legacy code-based project, it can be very beneficial for you. A lot of times when you go to any company, no matter the company that you're working for, most people do not want to work with the legacy code bases in the organization, the shop. And so if you come in and you say, I'm willing to look at this legacy code, this legacy project, you can quickly be in a position where you can add great value to your organization. Because first of all, they need someone to maintain this code base, this project. And secondly, it also gives you an opportunity to stand out within your organization. You will become the go-to guy. I can tell you from experience, you can volunteer to look at something that no one else wants to. You will quickly become the subject matter expert. You write one line of code, you make one update, you now become the subject matter expert. While that may seem a little bit intimidating because you may not know everything about the project or the legacy code base that you're looking at, you quickly become an expert and a leader within the organization as a result of looking at, or taking ownership of this code base. And so I just want some different things I want you to think about when it comes to legacy code. I'm always going to encourage you to make sure that you stay abreast of the trends and make sure that you stay abreast of what's happening within the industry. But do not be afraid of looking at legacy code. Like I said, I have not always had this mindset. I have not always thought like this. Usually in the past, I've said, I want to work on the latest and greatest. I want to make sure that my skills are up to par. I want to make sure that I can go anywhere within the industry and I can definitely be marketable. But one thing I can say is I believe that having legacy code on your resume, it definitely can make you more marketable. Now, there are going to be some companies that they're going to want you to be primarily just work on the latest and greatest. But I do believe there's going to be some employers out there that's going to really, really like the fact that you are well-rounded, that you are able to maneuver or work through many different code bases, and whether it's legacy or something that's more current within the industry. So I definitely want to encourage you to, if you ever face with a situation where you have to work on a legacy code base, to do not be so quick to dismiss it, or do not be so quick to say, no, I don't want anything to do with that. But look at it as an opportunity to increase your skills. Look at it as an opportunity to establish yourself as a leader within your IT organization, as a go-to guy, and also I think it's also a great opportunity for you to realize that it's an opportunity for you to learn something new and to be able to look at things in a different way. A lot of the new technology can do things so much easier than you can versus how you may do it in a legacy code base. But understanding the concepts of how it was done and being able to relate back to a more current technology, I think it's going to make you an overall better developer. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to encourage you to take a moment, step back, and if you ever have opportunity to work in a legacy code base, really take some time to really think about it, and don't be so quick to dismiss it. Hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe, and I look forward to talking to you again. Take care.